Folks, it has finally come to this. The Walt Disney Company has lost their mind. No, seriously, we're not joking anymore. Bob Iger has completely lost sense of reality. You think we're going a little too far? You think Pro has gone hyperbolic? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you the stock is diving, and guess what? It's Bob's fault. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the place where we bring common sense to Hollywood, kicking and screaming. They don't want to accept it, like a toddler being forced to eat vegetables. But our videos here much better than vegetables, and I guarantee you, better seasoned as well. Vash Sky joins us today. Vash, how are you?
I am doing very, very well. Thank you so much for having me back on here. It's it's been a little while, Pro. I feel a little left out, but now I'm back on, and I can't wait to get going.
That's right. The stock is dropping for Disney faster than a log on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the backside of Tafiti. Folks, this is all Bob's fault. We're going to show you why, and it comes down to the Disney parks. Seriously, you ready? Dive in with us, click the like button, and here we go. This is an article out of Blog Mickey. Disney CEO Bob Iger. Universal Epic Universe isn't a concern. Oh, man, this is, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for one this time. In a call this morning at the Moffett-Nathanson Media Conference, Disney CEO Bob Iger continued to reiterate that Disney isn't concerned about Universal's Epic Universe theme park. This is not, Vash, what the investors want to hear. Newsflash, Bob, you need to be concerned. When asked about the new theme park being built minutes away from Walt Disney World, Iger noted that Epic Universe isn't distracting or anxiety-provoking for Disney, and that he is confident in the slate of attractions that Walt Disney World has rolled out over the past few years. Vash, you're not going to believe what they say. Folks, you can read that paragraph. Let's keep going. Here's what is amazing to us. In a statement to the New York Times, a Disney spokesperson also brushed off the potential impact of Epic Universe, saying, "Epic, is Universal playing catch-up on a decade of nonstop development at the Walt Disney World Resort? They might be playing catch-up, Disney, but you're full of mustard, and it's old stinky mustard." Folks, Epic Universe is the largest theme park in North America. It's about to open with Super Nintendo World. Mario might be the hottest property on the planet. They've got the dragons. They've got the Harry Potter. This is crazy that Disney is putting out these kinds of statements, and apparently, Vash, shareholders agreed, because Disney is down almost 2.5% in the market today, dropping. Look at that slide as Bob Iger was talking. In fact, this stock went all the way down to 101.56. A buck over 100 is what I was trying to say. 11:10 a.m., and then it started to slowly rebound as people absorbed what Bob had said. Vash, here's why this matters so much, and then we've got another thing we got to talk about too. But Vash, Disney World is something like 30 to 40% of all of Disney's profits. Probably, if you're facing this kind of a threat from Universal Studios, and if you just came out in your earnings report, where, by the way, your stock collapsed, if you came out and said, with the quarter coming up, that you're going to have soft attendance, that you're losing traction, and now you're not worried at all about this huge competitor that you're about to face just minutes away, this is not the right messaging. Vash, please help me make sense of this. What are they thinking at Disney? Please, Vash. I mean, I am flustered. I am flabbergasted at this response.
It's hubris. We saw this from Disney before, right? When who's the big cheese over there right now in Imagineering? Is it Bruce Vaughn? Is that right?
You know what, Vash? You're right, but it's hard to keep track because they keep firing people. I would say that Carmen Smith's really in charge, but they wouldn't agree with me. But anyway.
But you remember Bruce Vaughn back in the day, back in D23 Expo, sitting right beside Marty Sklar, said that, that Potter thing, we ain't concerned. Universal's a joke. We're not at all concerned about what they're doing over there.
Then he tasted butterbeer.
Exactly.
I kid. Go ahead, Vash.
Well, no, there was a seismic shift in the gravitational pull of the theme park industry when Harry Potter opened in 2010. I mean, it really did. I mean, upend everybody, including Disney. In fact, that's why they started doing big theme park lands around one IP, like Avatar, Frozen, Cars Land, etc. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That was all a response to Potter. And now they might be doing it again, but this time with an entirely new theme park with a Potter in it. I mean, this is this is the same universe.
30 to 40% of all of this company's profits come from Disney World, and they're acting like Universal is playing catch up. Like I said, it might be catch up, but if it is, Disney's just full of hot mustard because this is insanity. Disney is giving us Tiana's Bayou Adventure, a ride that can't even generate bigger crowds than the quarter before when it opened, and Epic Universe is on the way, and the shareholders are bailing again on Bob. This is a colossal mismanagement of the company in the past just few weeks since Nelson Peltz pulled out of the proxy. What in the world is going on besides hubris? I mean, Vash, I can't even imagine. They have no answer. They have no answer to this. Do you think that Esperanza, Encanto and Animal Kingdom, that is going to stop people from saying, you know what, I'm going to go visit Mario instead? No, it's not. This is insanity.
It's hard to formulate the words to describe just how inept this response is. And here's the thing, you know what? Who was taking it seriously? Nelson Peltz, ironically. It was actually in his white paper. It was like on page 170 or something like that, but it was in there and it was saying, look, listen, your flagship property in Walt Disney World contributes, like you said, bro, about 30% of your overall profit, not revenue, not any profit, okay, for the entire company, and yet you're not taking this threat seriously.
Margin. You tell your investors that, it's no big deal. We just got, an existential crisis with 30% of our profit. I mean, isn't it insane? Isn't that crazy? Like, how could you not take this seriously? Look at this, Vash. This is how you do that. You drop from 116. This is the earnings call. You drop from 116 and you're just dropping off a cliff, a second cliff happening. Folks, we're not giving you financial advice. We can't tell you what's going to happen with Disney tomorrow. Maybe they've got some secret weapon they're going to release. Release the secret weapon, as they said in American Tale with Fievel. You never know. But things not looking good. Vash, let me show you the other part of this. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to ask, just real fast right here. We've both seen some documents, right? We both had the privilege of seeing some documents that suggest that they are losing out on revenue when it comes to merchandise. They are losing out on revenue when it comes to sit-down dining, interestingly enough, or dining options in general. People are kind of scaling back as the post-pandemic reality sits in here right here. But I believe Moffett-Nathanson had its own report suggesting that 1 million people might migrate over from Walt Disney World property to Walt Disney World. From Walt Disney World property to Epic Universe. I mean, it's not a big deal, Vash. It's not a big deal. They're playing.
Listen, Universal's playing catch up. Did you not read the thing? I mean, listen. They opened a splash pad at Epcot. Okay, people are not going to pass up the chance for a splash pad to go to an immersive, giant, largest in North America theme park that's filled with their favorite IPs. They've got a handle on this. They're activating, Vash, all the areas of their parks. I hear they're going to have Streetmosphere any moment, and they might even do a drone show with 12 drones. You just never know, Vash. So nobody's going to Epic Universe. That's the attitude of Disney, not us, folks. Facetiousness, sarcasm, there it is. But Vash, let me show you what else is going on here that has stock and shareholders absolutely terrified of Bob Iger. And this is so amazing to me because Bob Iger survived the proxy battle and instantly things went to absolute Hades, right? Take a look at this. This is out of the Hollywood Reporter. Bob Iger reflects on Disney's streaming launch. We invested too much. And what Bob Iger talks about, folks, you can read this article. It's a dandy. It's by Eaton Vlessing. What it's talking about here is that they're going to cut back bigly, but Bob Iger, apparently, Vash, still going ahead with shows like Agatha, whatever the new title is, going forward with things like Marvel's Ironheart, stuff that's pretty much doomed to fail. So I don't know where they're cutting, but this article is all about how they realize they have spent too much. They got to stop spending so much, and they're going to cut back on the spending because they can just sit on their laurels. And guess what, Vash? Guess what? It's not working. Tubi now anticipated to overtake Disney Plus in the next quarter.
Oh my goodness.
Tubi, by the way, is a free streaming service that nobody knew what it was 6 months ago. Cost Rupert Murdoch about $400 million. Disney Plus, meanwhile, and all of Disney's streaming plans cost them about, $100 billion, and they're $30 billion in the hole by our estimates. So I think investors are in full freakout mode. And frankly, I think a lot of our viewers, I'm not suggesting that I'm part of this, but I think some of our viewers are saying just desserts. You picked Bob, now you live with Bob. And, well, Bob is the only one in this situation that can be blamed because Nelson Peltz isn't there to take the blame. This is Bob and Bob alone. It is Bob Solo, and Bob Solo, two-shower Bobby, has put Disney in a very precarious place where they cannot defend themselves against Epic Universe. And at the same time, they're cutting their investments while they are falling below a streaming platform that nobody knew of in the last, 6 months. Vash, take a look at that. Disney Plus, if Tubi beats it in the next quarter, Disney Plus drops out of the top 5 biggest streamers in the market. Disney no longer in the top echelon. It's amazing. Vash, your thoughts?
I'm honestly not surprised, only because they were so close to begin with, and it was kind of stunning to see because, like you said, Tubi only spent a couple $100 million at that for both content and for operating costs versus Disney spending billions, tens of billions and billions of dollars every single year to try to put content to prevent churn and all these other things in order to own the farm so they can sell the cow. Meanwhile,
Lizzo really lifted him up, Vash.
Everything else.
That Lizzo cameo in Mandalorian season 3 really helped them stop Tubi. Really did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That really prevented the churn right there. I am sure. No, look, listen. I mean, this is. I'm honestly, I'm not surprised they have been trending in this direction right here. They haven't been providing the content that people want in order to sign up for the service. They haven't been preventing churn as much as they possibly can be. And now that they're password sharing, everybody's like, you know what? I'm out. This is just too much for me. If you're not going to have any compelling content for me to stay, why should I? Basically. Now, when it comes to parks, though, I mean, here's the thing. It's going to be a battle on two fronts right here. First, you're going to be suffering from some cannibalization or from some losses to Tubi on the streaming front, and then on the parks front, you're going to be suffering from some cannibalization. At your flagship resort to Epic Universe. And here's the thing. Here's the big thing that nobody really is talking about right now. You see, attendance is one thing. It's the per caps, though. It's the per guest spend that is crucial. And honestly, I think they're going to be losing more than just bodies. I think they're going to be losing big dollars as people spend more at Epic Universe than they will at Walt Disney World.
Vash, let's play with that then, because you're exactly right. That's something that folks out there are not thinking about. And I hate to scare the investors any more than they already apparently are. Otherwise, how can you have 2 crashes in 1 month? But Vash, ponder this for a moment. Let's say, dear Disney, that you don't care about the profit engine that is Disney World driving 1/3 of your entire profits, and you're not scared of Epic Universe. Vash, you're exactly right on the per cap when you talk about guests who come in and how much they spend, how much you can extricate the Washingtons out of their wallets, and far more than that. Frankly, Disney's after the Franklins. But Vash, if they're going to Epic Universe on the same trip, okay, let's pretend that Disney is going to still have some folks who want to go to Disney and Epic. I think a lot of folks are just going to go to Epic starting next year. But if you've got those families that are going to both, I got a feeling, Vash, that Epic's about to take a ton of their disposable income as they want to spend on Harry Potter, as they want to spend on all of that Nintendo merch. And we've seen that happen in Tokyo already. We've seen it happen in LA already. We've watched as Nintendo World has been just absolutely bonkers with the merchandising sales. It has been tremendous. We've covered just what insanity ensues every time one of these opens, and Disney is crazy to not be caring about it. I got a feeling, Vash, they're actually panicked internally about this. They just can't say so, but they did not strike the right accord, because whatever this was that they attempted where it's like, oh, well, they're catching up to us. It's like, no, they're not. So, Vash, your thoughts on that take in regards to guests spending money on Super Nintendo World? What have you seen over at the West Coast side?
Merch flies on the West Coast side. I mean, they just flies off the shelves, and some of that stuff is really expensive because remember, Universal has to share some of that with Nintendo, obviously. So your margins have to be increased even further in order to account for that. However, people still spend buku bucks on that merch, and I've seen that same merch show up in theaters, right? Because at the same time that Super Nintendo World opened in the West Coast, well, the Super Mario Bros. Movie actually opened in theaters, and so you saw a lot of that merch actually make its way into theaters nationwide, which was really fascinating to see. This thing is just a phenomenon, and the merchandising potential is just outrageous. At the time, by the way, that Disney themselves are rethinking their merchandising opportunities within the consumer products division at under the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts Experiences brand. So, like, all these things are kind of happening at the same time right now, and I mean, this is what got Disney involved in both. Cars Land, Avatar, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it was all to an attempt to be a Potter Swatter. Well, now you're going to have an epic swatter. And for the company not to take a laissez-faire approach to this, I think it's very, very, it's corporate malfeasance. It's ignorance. It's honestly, it's a betrayal to your shareholders.
Well, how about this? Laissez-faire at this kind of a situation, at this kind of juncture, laissez-faire is probably the worst kind of avant-garde to stay in the French zone because this is definitely a new way of thinking. You've got your major competitor aiming their sights directly at the thing that brings you the most profit out of anything in your company, and you say, who cares? That's how we get to the situation, though, Vash, where this stock was over 120, $120 just a few weeks ago, and that came, of course, the height when the Nelson Peltz proxy battle ended. As soon as it ended, the stock started dropping. Folks, we're not here to tell you what to do with your money. Do not take any kind of financial advice from us. But as you can see, it has been dropping, and today another slide. Now we are in danger of this stock dropping below the triple-digit mark. And when it does, folks, again, I'm not telling you what to do with your money at all. Don't listen to me, okay? Don't. But I'll say that at the 100 mark, one might anticipate that if it drops there are going to be some automated actions that take place. Folks, you go talk to your advisor to see what that means. Vash, it's all very interesting, and it's amazing to me. You know, we told the viewers out there for months that Disney was throwing everything they had at stopping Nelson Peltz to the point that they had very little once they got through that to save the day, and that the punishment might be so severe because they would have empty promises that they had to fulfill, and they just can't. We're there now. We're watching that happen. We'll see how it plays out. But Disney World actually in danger now of losing significant major market share, and that may be why investors are scared to death, with Bob Iger not coming out and saying, hey, here are the ways we're going to respond, but rather than saying, they're playing catch up with us. It's like, no, and no, they're not. All right, Vash, you are running an excellent YouTube channel over there called T3PO. Folks can find it by looking up at that pod place. Well, we call it T3PO because it's That Park Place Podcast online. Vash, tell the folks out there what's coming up tomorrow. You had a little bit of a delay on something, but I think they are going to be really excited. What do you got?
Well, we have an amazing episode of the Hollywood Backlot with Lou and you taking your questions right there. We've had this episode chambered right here. Obviously, we had an amazing live stream, but I really wanted to pour all the effort into it that I possibly could and give you guys a really great presentation. And I think I have achieved that. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought, and I had some technical difficulties with the render and so forth. But it is coming out tomorrow, bright and early, 6:30. a.m. on the West Coast, and then on Eastern, it's going to be that 9:30 slot right there. So make sure you have your notifications on. Make sure you are, subscribed. Make sure you like all those videos right there, so that you can be notified as soon as this hits. Because trust me, folks, you're gonna wanna see this. A lot of great stuff that Lou brings to the table in this one.
Absolutely, and you're going to catch a lot of both Vash and LW Ghost tomorrow. Vash is on with the Backlot with Lou and you. He'll be there as the host of that. Then he's going to be on That Park Place Live at noon Eastern on Thursday, folks. Don't miss it for a second. And Lou will be not only on the Hollywood Backlot show live on T3PO, but then at 5 p.m. Eastern, he'll be joining me for a special edition of The Pro Show at 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Folks, lots of great content. Vash Museum, maybe we'll bring that to you. But in the meantime, folks, might be Bob Iger's museum coming up real soon, because Bob Iger might get tossed out of that place. I don't know where he's going to take a shower. Maybe he'll have to have some more showers installed in that golden yacht of his. But folks, fear not, for more content comes out on this channel as we cover it. Tomorrow we're going to tell you exactly how Nielsen apparently is trying to throw a little assist to Disney. We're going to break down why that might be a miss. But in the meantime, click like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. And folks, we'll see you real soon, fear not. For, in the meantime, keep learning, keep growing. You know the line. Keep having fun.
Clickbait, fraud, drama queen. Ugh, I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid, there is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed, so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.